What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is Arrow Season 4, Episode 16, Broken Hearts. So, since we ended the last episode on such a stupid note, the best possible way to go after that is to have another episode based solely around the fact that Oliver and Felicity aren't together anymore. Right? It's only the stupidest thing they possibly could have done. So let's have an entire episode based on that one fact. Oh, and our main story's kind of going on in the background just a little bit. Just a little bit, not so much to where it actually keeps you interested, but just enough to where you're just like, oh yeah, this is an episode about a guy who dresses up like the Green Arrow and has to stop very powerful villains like Damien Dark. Full sarcasm. This show just made me go full sarcasm in a review. I don't like going full sarcasm because it makes me look like a jackass, and I'm not most of the time. No, but seriously, we just ended the last episode so stupidly, on such a stupid note. After 2 episodes ago, we have an episode where Felicity's saying, look, sometimes you have to lie to protect the people you love. Sometimes you just have to do that. It happens. Oliver lies to protect his son, and Felicity doesn't get it. It's okay for Captain Lance to do it, but it's not okay for my fiancé to do it. When he does it, he's trying to protect you. When he does it, he's wrong and he needs to go to hell. It's frustrating. I've already discussed that. Just go watch my last review if you want to see me talk about that. In this one, your main villain is bringing back the Cupid lady, whatever her name is. The lady that's like, you kind of want to be the center of her focus, but at the same time you don't because she's dangerous and evil. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm trying to think of another good example. She's like this really hot, evil lady. And she used to be really focused on Green Arrow, or the Arrow, and now he's dead. Then she was focused on Floyd Lawton, and now he's dead, so now she's just taking out a bunch of random couples because she wants vengeance on love in general? Okay. But what this leads to is Oliver and Felicity have already called off the wedding. Now they have to say, oh, it's back on secretly, so that way they become the next targets. For some reason, the Arrow crew does not plan for anything except for her shooting an arrow at Oliver. The only plan you have is, okay, so she shoots Oliver with an arrow. Let's have Kevlar on under his tux. He shoots Felicity. Oh well. If she tries to blow up a building, oh well. They had no plan in place whatsoever. It was just, here's Kevlar so she can't kill you. Great. What are you going to do if she tries to kill a bunch of random innocent people? We'll improvise. So there's already no plan in place there. It leads to a moment where Oliver and Felicity get to discuss their relationship more and whether there's a possibility of one and Felicity still just like, no, I can't do it. Even though she's the one that wanted to come back into this life. She's the one that was already doing this despite the fact that they were living happily in this. If you remember to the first part of the season, like the first episode, she and Oliver were living happily in this little town. She's off doing stuff with Team Arrow behind Oliver's back. She's lying to him. Hello. She wanted to come back to this life. Now that they have, and this life has affected Oliver, now she doesn't like what Oliver's become. Now she's not divorcing him, but calling off the wedding, doesn't want to marry him anymore because of all of this. I'm like, first of all, you're the most hypocritical person ever. Aside from, like, I don't know, Captain Lance in Season 3. Second, you're the dumbest person ever, aside from, like, Hillary Clinton. And third, none of this makes any sense at all. From the beginning of the season to now, all of her decisions just feel like none of them matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is they were going to get married, now they're not. It doesn't matter how you get there. You could take the dumbest route possible. You could say that Felicity gets shot in the head, comes back to life, and then Oliver breaks a leg and she doesn't love him because he has no leg anymore. You could say that, and it wouldn't matter to these writers. Like, that they could have done that, and that For them, they would just be like, yeah, that's a great story. Because what they've done now makes no sense. For them to stop being together, for Felicity not want to be with Oliver because he lied to her about having a son to protect that son. You've lied to him before. You just said 2 episodes ago you lie to protect the people you love. And yet, where are we now? So anyway, I'm frustrated, obviously, if you can't tell. I'm very frustrated with what they're doing with this story. On to the main story. In this one, Damien Dark, he's being tried. Of course, they have some legal bullcrap stuff. This is why you should just... Villains like Damien Dark that are extremely powerful and have a lot of people working under them, you should be able to kill these villains and not feel bad about it, right? Right? Anyway, no, but, yeah, once again, have no faith in our judicial system because Damien Dark has all of these different things. Oh, there's not enough evidence. He was just there. He was being kidnapped. Blah, 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 blah. And so the judge needs more evidence. Captain Lance says, okay, I'm going to say I helped him. He threatened you. I'm talking to Laurel. And so his testimony, despite the fact that he might lose his job over it, ends up convincing the judge, okay, yeah, that there's something behind this. We're taking him to trial. So, he's going to trial, which maybe not, because at the end he has a ring in his mouth. Where did he get it? Since when does the ring affect his powers at all? And wasn't the totem the cause of his powers? And now he puts on the ring and the light starts flickering. Does that mean he has his powers back now? Anyway, it ends a bit strange. But the curious thing is, in the flashback, I think they finally tied it to the main story. Because isn't that the totem that Damien Dark had? The one that they just found in this? Maybe I'm wrong about that. But this entire season, my biggest frustration was the flashbacks don't connect. The whole point of the flashbacks in the first 3 seasons was we're connecting it to the main story. Obviously you're telling a story of a guy who's on an island for 5 years. We're on the 4th year right now. So yeah, you could say, well, the flashbacks are just there to tell that story. But the important thing, and one of the things that made the flashbacks so great, is how they tied into the main story. Whether it was Oliver's dealing with one thing here, let's show the time that he had to deal with that while he was on the island, or while he was in China, or wherever he was. So it worked well. It worked together. This season, it's just been, oh, now he's back on the island dealing with this Baron Ryder guy, and that's all that you need to know. Does it connect emotionally? No. Does it connect to the story? No. And it's been kind of frustrating, and I've talked about that several times. I think they finally tied it into the story. It only took 16 episodes, but yeah. So hopefully that is what I'm thinking it is. It looks similar to the totem that Damien Dark was using. But it's been so long since I watched the last episode, so I don't really remember what it looked like. But either way, hopefully that makes this a bit better. But yeah, I would have to say it's not the best, but hopefully now it kind of felt like at the end of this episode, it kind of felt like, okay, Felicity's made her decision, it's done. So maybe they'll stop focusing on that as much, and we can get back to the main story and something better. I don't know. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. One final thing before I close out this video. I was watching Legends of Tomorrow, and this is why you should always try to stay away from previews. Anyway, I was watching Legends of Tomorrow on TV before I even had a chance to mute. Because, previews for The Flash and Arrow have come on while I've been watching Legends of Tomorrow before. But most of the time it's like I hear it or I see it and I'm like, oh, mute. I don't want to know what's going on. I don't want to see what's going on right now. Because, I'm on episode 16. I think they're on episode 20 right now, out of 23. And unfortunately, this particular commercial spoiled who died for me. Like, from the very first, Oliver says, we need to avenge fill in your... If you don't know, I don't want to spoil it for you, if you happen to be watching these as you're watching these episodes. But yeah, for those of you who are watching, happen to watch this and know who died already, yeah, that got spoiled for me. So I'm on episode 16 and I know who died already. It's a bit frustrating. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know that. The 4 people that happen to watch these reviews. I wish I had more subscribers. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you thought down below. As always, leave out spoilers like that. Until I've gotten caught up, leave a like and subscribe for more Arrow, and I will see you at the next review. Peace out.